So this is like maybe like the one rant that I'm thinking about, but isn't the whole idea of reading fascist or communist books kind of like the government Bibles? Like, think about it. They don't address any social issues like the right to not vote, the right to not have free speech. It's just harping as a kind of religious sentiment from often tankies and fascists, which are the same thing, honestly. They just have different goals. But if they're anti-imperialist, that's fine. But can't they like be anti-authoritarian as well? Like, what's wrong with having the freedom to choose your own government to begin with? Like, is that so hard to understand? Um, yeah, and I saw this video, which was really kind of clever, and I actually liked that video. But wouldn't a better system just simply be, hey, you can criticize the government if it gets out of line, and yeah, we're gonna vote every 4 years or 6 or whatever, and yeah, we're also gonna be anti-imperialists. Fight for the people. Hey, what's so wrong with that? So it just sounds like frauds. Like they are religiously connected to this dumbass political Bibles. Like, I mean, okay, look, I spent 3 years or something studying Islam. What do you think is going to change anything with reading these political Bibles? Like they aren't actually encouraging the problem. They are just it's almost like a ritual. Like if you are actually anti-imperialist, you would just be anti-imperialist, like like uh, stop the exploitation of third world countries. Have them have leadership to build up. I don't know. There's corporations involved. But see, that's so easy to say. You don't have to read like some kind of authoritarian manifesto to get common sense. But if I were to read it, I would just read Mein Kampf first, and then communist stuff, and then I would just read Ayn Rand books just to troll those people because it's the same shit. uh, but the thing is, if the whole idea is okay, this will be a better world if everybody was authoritarian. Um, Uh, yeah, so explain that to me how that works again. No human rights, no right to vote, no right to free speech. You're just a slave to the state. And no, there is not a CIA agent hiding under your bed either. Like, it's the consequences of bad actions, bad outfall, and just failing to recognize that human issues have a need. Outside food maybe, but that's the point. Is ideologies sell better than just rampant fear. So that's kind of like the whole selling point is just to be as intimidating and obnoxious as possible. I mean, the only heroes I count is I don't know. Um, with I don't know. I'm not sure about Franco of Spain though, because that guy was like a fascist leader. But I think J.R. Tolkien supported that guy because the Reds was killing priests or something. And then there is like Che Guevara, which I do like though. But that was more about fighting for your own existence. So that guy has more noble goals despite setting up a not so good system like communism. And then you have assholes like Hitler, Mao Zedong, and Stalin, who are just bad in all. Like they're just trash. But yeah, so yeah, I don't get the whole worship of horrible people in general. Like, I don't worship. What's a guy called Woodrow Wilson was also a douche. But it's just the system that's bad here. Like that's the criticism here is whole. You have no right to vote. You have no right to free speech, and that just sucks. And I guess the whole idea of Gish galloping argument of just calling the West authoritarian, which is just not true because imperialist, that's that part I can see, but authoritarian would mean that you don't respect the right to vote or free speech or having any just kind of just hitting a tank, the joke. So yeah. But here's the final point, though. Isn't it true that communism or authoritarianism is not a form of state capitalism? See my point here? So, isn't the whole idea of that philosophy to be for the working people? Okay, then who is the oppressor here? Who is the oppressed? Exactly, you can't decide. I would think that helping people out, like the Bible, the second best commandment is love your neighbor as yourself. Like that's one utopian goal, isn't it? To make sure that everyone's needs are there. I think that the best way to really help out people in general is to uh, despite how different people are, that you won't actually, oppress them. I think that's probably the best way a society would work, even if you absolutely don't agree on a moral level, and that in general, society dictates on what values people have either way. But yeah, that's kind of like the closest thing to a good government I can think of is, everyone's needs are met, basic needs, and the fundamental needs. Like those are like the type of government. I kind of consider Denmark to be the best type of government for that, but even though I live in Norway, but yeah, in general, I don't know. I guess I find it sort of a little bit hilarious how anti-capitalist they are, but they also kind of consider themselves on an authoritarian level to be state level capitalist when you really think about it. Even with Mao Zedong and Stalin, like they held the means of production. Does that go against the whole communist philosophy? Like I don't know. Like is that like ideal? Like where does the idea of working people come from? I mean, it just sounds like some snake oilman type of type of idea here. Like, if you were serious, okay, then just have a government that actually covers people's needs, and that would not be authoritarian. Maybe if the idea is that you afford the working people, what's so working people about having an authoritarian dictator running a country? Like, tell me that. Yeah. So, and I also do like the whole idea of a Western imperialist. Like Karl Marx was a Western guy. He was living in Germany, so I don't know. I just find it so funny with the whole gish galloping by this by I don't know, maybe agents or those type of troll army, or paid by the government, which is so pathetic to begin with. You can't have your own opinions. You're gonna have to pretend to be someone else, and basically they sort of have this idea that almost like a religious ceremony, honestly, like a statism type of thing. Like these people are not intellectuals in the sense of actually having a very moral honest debate. It's just very chilling for a type of government, rather than actually having an open discussion about it. So yeah. I don't know. I just consider fascists and tankers to be both evil, and I think you're an idiot if you support one over the other. They are both bad, and you can also criticize Western imperialism. That's not controversial at all. That's also fine. So yeah, but let me know what you think. Yeah, this is probably gonna be a popular video. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, thank you for listening, and bye.